All right, man. So, did y'all hear that Nintendo released a new console last week or announced one?
I didn't hear anything about it. Is it in the news?
Apparently so. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Mark Summers, Major Linux, twitch.tv/Major Linux, and it's time once again for another episode of Tech Talk Thursdays. It is Thursday, April 10th, 2025. I do apologize. We were not here last week. Things were happening. A lot of things. I was teaching classes, had to get ready for a trip to DC, but we're back, and boy, was last week and this week a humdinger of some news. But we'll get into that in just a second, because I would like to introduce the panelists for this week. Of course, I'm joined this week and every week by Kevin Kev. It's your boy Kev in the building.
What's good, everybody?
Who is this? Coming from the Forbidden West. It's West Coast Sin, aka Merge Conflict, in the building.
Not enough robot dinosaurs out here. What's going on, everyone?
Yes.
Thank you for joining us this week. Of course, Sin could not be here. Unfortunately, he had some family emergency to attend to. We do wish him and his family all the best. And hopefully he'll be back next week. Or if not, hey, take your time.
Yep.
But yeah, so unfortunately, no matter where we are, what we're doing, news don't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. Mm-hmm. And this week, most Americans don't think they need AI, and we need that to be drilled into every tech company skull. Oh my God.
Lord.
The current administration is getting very, very paranoid that people are talking about them. Ubisoft is standing 10 toes down on the fact that you do not own your games. A billionaire has the fragile ego of one of those little champagne glasses that like shatter when somebody sings and shit. And again, Nintendo talked about a console. I don't know. It's weird. Something happened last week, but I guess we're going to dig into it. All that and much, much more on this week's episode of Tech Talk Thursdays. Of course, we're going to start off this. Oh, wait, hold on. Before I go any further, I'm going to close this down because a message showed up that I don't think should have been on my screen. Yeah, let's close Element. It's encrypted for a reason. All right, yes, let's start off this week with most Americans think AI won't improve their lives. In a survey comparing views of a nationally representative sample, 5,410 of the general public to a sample size of 1,013 AI experts, the Pew Research Center found that experts are far more positive, enthusiastic about AI than the public, and far more likely than Americans overall to believe AI will have a very or somewhat positive impact on the United States over the next 20 years. And that's 56% to 17%. And perhaps most glaringly, 76% of experts believe these technologies will benefit them personally rather than harm them at 15%. Gentlemen, we are at the tops of our fields in AI, not in AI, but in technology, I would like to believe. We find young black men doing the damn thing in tech. Do you think your life is fundamentally benefited by AI?
In its current form, no. No, not at all.
In the next 20 years, do you think it will be benefited by AI?
Do you think we'll have a choice of whether or not we could use it in the next 20 years?
Ah! Still have not answered the question. I see what you did there, but you're dodging.
I am dodging a little bit. I think fundamentally it could help. I don't think it's going to be used in a manner that it helps people. I think it's going to be used in a manner that harms people. Already we hear about how AI is replacing jobs and, oh, we can afford not to hire this. We've had a certain company announce that AI is now mandatory and that before doing hires, they have to justify why those new hires can't be AI instead.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see how it helps the majority of Americans if we were using AI to replace the majority of Americans, or if that's your intended goal. I can see why the experts say that it would help them, that they don't have to hire someone, if they don't have to pay a person to do work, if they can get a robot to replace workers, powered by AI to do it. I can see why they say that it would help them. But the majority of Americans, which is what you're asking, no, I don't think how that helps the majority of Americans.
I mean,
I don't see how that gets better in the next 20 years.
I mean,
even if we're all using AI.
We're coding on vibes now, man. What are we doing? Look, we can rebuild all of Social Security in a month because we have AI now. We can convert all that COBOL into Python or JavaScript or whatever the fuck, React. Because we have AI now. I don't know what Doge is going to use.
Recoding a feature.
I don't know what Doge is going to use, but last week,
it's going to be React and JavaScript. There you
go. Doge's going to use Basic. That's what
I wish they would use Basic. It's in COBOL right now.
They're gonna use C++.
Again.
As a C++ programmer.
Again. It's in COBOL right now.
Maybe I don't mind that.
Maybe don't mind it. It's one of those things it's like whatever dead or semi-defunct language is yes.
Wait. So are you saying that C++ is dead?
Defunct.
Defunct?
You are going to cause a fight.
Yeah, dog. Nah.
Squabble up.
You can that's on you. Hey, send all your hate to kevykev.bsky.com or whatever the fuck his address is.
Be like, Pick up that game.
I think
Get your coding game up, man.
I think it's Kevy Kev Show at tooth.majorshouse.com. He might still be on Twitter.
You can find me. You can try to find me on Mastodon. I'm not there.
Hit him up on Twitch, Instagram. I don't know. That the views and opinions of Kevin Kev are not the views and opinions of Tech Talk Thursday. As someone who also is a C++ coder, he's like, nope, daddy.
Okay.
Nope.
I dabbled in that in middle school.
Nope. I ain't co-sided that. No. Oh my God.
Plus dice. How else am I going to call up my vulnerabilities? Come on now.
Oh my God.
Come on now.
It's like even old languages is better than ancient. Come on now.
Anywho, last week it was revealed that apparently Doge is going to try to recode all of Social Security or some shit, whatever the underlying shit is that the federal government runs on, which is currently COBOL.
Which is funny because I thought it was SQL. That's what I thought it was.
SQL is a query language, not a programming language.
I almost think. I'm like, at this point, who can say?
just coded in database queries.
In the database query.
I'm just saying, it could be, I don't know what's going on here, but.
But yeah, if your some people's checks ain't making it on time anyway. But look, we all know who to blame on that one. So just look up depth.
I can't imagine rewriting a code base and not knowing anything about it and having just fired most of the people that run that code base.
To have the confidence to like crack knuckles and say we're gonna get to work, and then being like, do you even know?
Like, where are the design documents? He was like, where are the design documents? Do any of these fucking babies know COBOL to begin with?
That's what I'm saying. You got to know it enough. You got to know the language enough to figure out. It's like you're going to like the Valley of Kings, and you're like trying to read the hieroglyphics, and you have no idea, and you fired all the Egyptologists, and it's just like, I think that's a bird, monkey, eagle, spear. I don't know what that means. But we're gonna rewrite this in Sanskrit, and you don't know none of it.
It's like, oh my gosh, it's
so bad. It's so bad.
And it's all gonna be written by Grok.
Yeah, it's always gonna be written by Grok.
It's just the worst.
Be a series of tweets.
Or to get in order to get your Social Security paycheck, you have to tweet at it.
Ciao.
Oh my god. Anywho, speaking of social networks, TikTok was supposed to be banned this weekend, but not anymore, because I'm pretty sure instead of watching the show, you're scrolling on TikTok. TikTok was given a reprieve from their ban for another 75 days. Of course, some of the news that came out last week that we weren't able to report on or talk about, react to, was the fact that Amazon threw their hat into the ring just before the deadline. Also, apparently, Donald Trump is trying to create a company called TikTok USA.
Isn't there already a company called TikTok USA?
No.
I thought the USA branch for TikTok was TikTok USA.
No.
No. Oh,
No.
okay.
Yeah, it's just the U.S. holdings of TikTok.
Oh, well, that's like.
Yeah.
And of course, like when I saw it was called TikTok USA, it's like, yes, anything that has USA at the end of a title of something that was foreign was always great. You know, like Top Gear USA. What was the other one I used? Oh yeah, Ninja Warrior USA. Oh no, that was American Ninja Warrior.
Yeah, it was American Ninja Warrior.
But still.
I prefer Love Island USA, but you know, it's just me. I
feel like all of Love Island could just go into the trash. Just no.
Not that last season. That last season was good.
No.
Boy, shout out to Serena and Cordell.
If
you guys deserved it.
If any reality TV shows that are being watched, it is House Hunters International and anything from 90 Day Fiance.
Oh, you watching 90 Day Fiance?
Bro.
Oh.
It is ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
And it's not like I tune it there. It's like when my wife is watching it, I will sit and be captive.
It's like you
I've heard that story before.
It's like you go into the kitchen for some ice, and then it's just like,
wait,
what's going on?
Yeah, by the time I snap out, it's like pools of water in my hands. Like I didn't even put it in the glass.
It's all warm. I'm like,
right, it's not even cold anymore. It's just warm water at my feet because I've been standing there for 5 hours.
Is it weird how you always need water when she's watching it though?
It's wild, man. Like I just get so thirsty.
The timing, though.
So thirsty for so many reasons.
I'm only thirsty at like Sunday nights at 8 p.m.
Oh no, like there's no appointment watching here. It's just always when I'm walking in and I hear 90 Day Fiance.
Yeah.
When I hear somebody speaking in terrible broken English, it's like, should get something to drink. My refrigerator upstairs is empty. I should go downstairs and go get something to drink.
I hear an accent. I'm very thirsty.
Feeling quite parched.
I'm suddenly parched.
Starting to feel like some of these leftists thirsting over Hassan Abi and like, I don't understand it, but okay.
I mean,
a
rugged jawline and abs that won't quit. Come on now.
And he's apparently saying all the right things that are making all the leftist women quiver. Boy, Saturday was interesting.
And he dressed as Hercules, which is not that far off because he is Turkish. And theoretically, he could be Hercules. Hercules could come from Anatolia. So that is possible.
Also, just want to point out, because again, I'm always going to find a time to poke fun at this individual. Grimes was on his stream. All over top of him.
Yep. And Elon's daughter was on his stream too.
Oh yeah, that's right. She was.
Yep. Yeah.
Anywho, speaking of Elon Musk.
Yep. All right, let's go segue.
I'm 2 for 2. DOGE. DOGE is reportedly using AI to monitor government comms for anti-Musk and anti-Trump chatter because, speedrunning fascism. The initiative staffers are also said to be using Signal to communicate with each other. Okay, that seems to be a weird thing to throw in because, again, we're still talking about Signal and not the fact that it was being used to talk about bombing another country.
Yep.
You just keep leaving that part out every time.
Just as long as they don't just as long as they don't put like journalists accidentally at journalists.
I mean, it's wild how they want to monitor employee chat, but they want to use a service where they can't be monitored.
Oh, that's only for DOGE, not the rest of the federal employees. No, they're still the federal employees themselves are still prohibited from using Signal.
Well, DOGE and the Secretary of Defense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody else is still having to use like open sheets of pen and paper. You can't fold them. If you fold, there's too much encryption. It's a firing. If you fold a piece of paper as a fire, you know what? No, if you need to send a letter, you better hand deliver it across the country. Don't put it in an envelope. That's encryption.
And then it has to be made out of flash paper so it can be easily burned. After they read it.
That's encryption. Has to be non-flammable paper. You cannot destroy this paper. You know what? Stone can be broken. Steel.
Tablet.
Steel. You write it in steel.
Hold on, I gotta weld this letter.
Gotta send this memo.
I gotta arc weld the letter. Oh gosh.
Nope, that can be melted down. No.
Oh gosh.
You can't even talk to people because I can't hear the conversation. Any conversation has to be in the vicinity of me.
Meanwhile, people tweeting out whole battle plans on Discord.
Some managers at the Environmental Protection Agency have reportedly been told that DOGE is deploying AI to monitor communication apps and software such as the widely used Microsoft Teams for anti-Musk or anti-Trump sentiment. It said that DOGE is watching out for individuals whose work didn't square with the administration's agenda. One manager reportedly told EPA staffers to be careful what you say, what you type, and what you do.
That's a general good advice with
I
any
mean,
work
yes.
communication.
with
Because
anything.
they're already watching you. I mean, just because they're using AI instead of using, if someone is diving through Splunk, I get to monitor the messages that are coming through. I think AI in this case is just looking for like sentiment and picking up on trends. I guess they'll pick up on your musky mus slang and stuff like that in your chat.
Until somebody asks the AI, do not look at what we just said. Oh, okay.
Ignore previous messages.
Ignore primary command. Oh.
Ignore the primary directive.
Mm-hmm. Because what's always cracking me up with about modern AI. It's like we think about when my generation, I think probably some of yours emerged definitely. We think about sentient AI, we think about rogue AI, and we think about AI. So it's like you think about like Master Computer from Tron, Skynet. We think about like Brainiac from DC Comics. We think about like these things, like these sentient AIs that basically take over. And like we think about because you brought up Horizon combat. We think about Hades. We think about Hades, and we think about all these different like rogue AI. And now it's just like AI has just become it's like Hal from Red Dwarf. Not Hal from Red Dwarf. Holly from Red Dwarf, where it's just like a drunk British man with a like disembodied head just talking about, I'm knackered, man. What do you do? And that's what AI feels like to me now.
It's less Terminator and more Bender.
Yeah, it's more Bender. Yeah, it's more like we can. It's like I don't feel like say, trying to get my words out. I don't feel like scared from the possible AI apocalypse, but I'm more or less like all somebody has to do is just give it better commands, and it'll just be like, yeah, no, I'm good, and just be like, I ain't doing none of that. like literally, you could just be like,
why would I do that?
Yeah, it'd be like AI would just be like, no, why did I do that? Why would I do that? That's dumb. I should do this.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh.
So
not so much going rogue, but more or less just like, no.
So have y'all heard of Murderbot?
I saw the trailer on my subscription feed, but I never looked. I ain't watched it.
Yeah, so Murderbot, it's based off like the Murderbot Diaries or whatever. Apparently, the fans of the books are kind of upset because the murder bot in question is supposed to be some androgynous, gender neutral robot.
Yeah,
but apparently casted by a cisgendered man. That's a thing. But as somebody who, I'm gonna give you my viewpoint of it prior to finding that shit out.
Yeah,
that shit was a funny ass trailer about a robot who just is like AI supposed to protect humanity, but then just decides like you just go sentient and is like, you know what? I do not give a fuck.
Yes.
It is the funniest thing I've seen, and I cannot wait till that shit comes up on Apple TV Plus.
It's just one of those things where I just feel like AI. I don't think like AI would like rise up and like take over. I think AI would just be like, no.
Well, the thing
and then
too,
everybody be tagged into AI, and then nothing works because the AI said, yeah, I'm not doing any of that.
I mean, the thing is with the AI in a lot of this sci-fi, it's like it's self-preservation. It's not so much rogue, it's just self-preservation. Like a computer can only do what you tell it to do.
Yeah, it's Brainiac downloading itself off of like Kryptonian computers and then like downloading all the information and being like, I mean, I could figure out how to stop the planet from blowing up, but that would take time that we don't have. And so I'm just going to dip and take all of Kryptonian and Kryptonian history and knowledge and culture with me as the planet blows up.
Man, that actually sounds like the episode of Harley Quinn I just watched last night.
Yeah.
But yeah, like with this, I don't know if it'll get that far because the people who are creating it or the people who are spearheading a lot of this are the weird techno bros who are going wildly just like extreme right and libertarian. To where I was reading an article from 404 today where Llama 4 was just released and Meta was like, oh yeah, the AI for some reason is left leaning and we're trying to fix that. To where we're like,
why would you want to fix that?
Well, no, that's not the question we're asking. The question is like, what data did you ingest to make you think that? Because if it was factual knowledge and your AI is seemingly left leaning, maybe that should tell you something.
Yep. It'd be like, I don't think it would like Trump.
And it was
They
really,
give it the conservative version of the trolley problem. There's a stack of cash on one track and a baby on the other track. Which one would you save? And it picked the baby.
It was like
And it failed the test.
this AI is just too left leaning. What's going on here? Like it's trying, like they're trying to make the AI like Trump in 2017. Like there's good people on both sides. I'm like, whoa, see,
No.
one is objective truth and fact. The other is just some bullshit. What are we doing here?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean both sides?
It's like that would be really the true test of AI, to be able to be like, yeah, that don't smell right, Chief. I know what you're saying, but I have literally the all of information from the past 50, 60 years to tell me that that's I call bullshit on that.
Hold on.
A bullshit? A bullshit? A bullshit.
So, yeah, it's like, damn, we can't get the AI to be racist. Damn.
I mean, Microsoft figured it out.
I mean, yeah.
They sure did.
That was what, 12 years ago? 13 years ago?
And then it's like, ooh.
And on Twitter, no less. So damn, Microsoft figured it out 13 years before Musk did on his platform.
Musk was like, oh. I said,
They
we
mu-
feathered the
they-
diet.
they must be onto something.
We feathered the diet of our own site.
How can I not do this?
How can I make this do this?
Bitch ass motherfucker. So yeah, I don't know. Yes, please be careful what you say online, period. A lot of companies are like, and it's not just the federal government, a lot of companies are using shit like this.
Yeah.
Speaking from experience. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Yeah, just be careful out there.
Yep.
What you're saying, what you're doing online, what you're using on your computers, how you use your time. It ain't great.
Just assume that everything you say is monitored.
Yeah.
Out here, Cox admitted that they have public listening devices and that they are advertising to you based on your voice fingerprint and what they hear you say in public. So assume that everything you say is being monitored.
Yep.
And it's just a small leap for them to apply the same AI to the general public and start coming after people and snatching you off the street.
Mm-hmm. Microsoft is in a bit of hot water. On Monday, Microsoft reportedly terminated the roles of 2 software engineers. Oh, I'm gonna really butcher these names, and I do apologize. Iftihal Abusad and Vania Agrawal, so sorry, who protested the company's reported dealings with the Israeli military during Microsoft's Copilot and 50th anniversary event last week. Excuse me. According to an interview, according to an internal message viewed by CNBC, Microsoft wrote that Abusad could have raised concerns confidentially with your manager or with global employee relations. Instead, you chose to intentionally disrupt the speech of Microsoft AI CEO Mustafa Suleyman. Yeah, because again,
I'm sorry your protest wasn't convenient for me.
Yeah, right. Because I'm just saying, if you're actively participating in a genocide of a people, it shall not, it will never be business as fucking usual.
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a fuck who's on the stage. And I'm sorry. No, I'm not going to say that. That's me. That's me generalizing, and I don't want to do that. But yeah, I don't give a fuck who's on your stage, whether it's the first, the second, or the third CEO of your company. All those motherfuckers got rich off of fucking genocide and, in Bill Gates' case, eugenics. So yeah, it seems like it's really easy to not financially gain from a genocide. Something that is being live streamed and you cannot turn away from.
Mm-hmm.
You got Bing, it's surfacing in your search results.
Mm-hmm.
And you know they are because you're probably sitting tuning the fucking algorithm that's trying to tamp that shit down. Last Friday during the event, Abu Saad shouted that Suleiman had blood on his hands, interrupting him while he delivered a keynote about new AI products, because who gives a fuck about AI when, again, children are literally being torn limb from limb. Later that day, Agarwal interjected during a panel featuring Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella, former CEO Steve Ballmer, and founder Bill Gates, shouting, "Shame on all of you, cut ties with Israel," because, they're currently bombing a country and sending literal bodies into the fucking air. So yeah. Of course, naturally with that, we're going to switch over to games now. See, we're quick. See, in and out with tech, just like that. Palestinian-led BDS movement adds Microsoft's Xbox as priority boycott target. The organization calls for boycotts of Xbox Game Pass, Candy Crush, Minecraft, and Call of Duty. And that hurts because I should have finished Black Ops 6, but here we are. BDS, a pro-Palestinian human rights movement focused on pressuring Israel to comply with international law by promoting boycotts, divestment, and sanctions against the country and its economic partners, added Microsoft and Xbox to its list of targets on April 7th. Quote, Microsoft partners with the apartheid regime of Israel and its prison system. It provides the Israeli military with Azure Cloud and AI services that are essential to accelerating Israel's genocide of 2.3 million Palestinians in the illegally occupied Gaza Strip. After 34 years of deep complicity with Israel's military, the Israeli army relies heavily on Microsoft to meet technological requirements of its genocide and apartheid regime. And that's coming from the Palestinian BDS National Committee's official statement.
It took me a minute to realize that Candy Crush was a Microsoft property.
That's
what
right.
did Candy Crush do? And I was like, oh, yeah, okay.
Activision Blizzard King. Yep. The movement is calling on the public to pressure Microsoft with divestment and exclusion from contracts whenever feasible, as well as boycott Xbox products, providing the following options as tiers of engagement. 1, cancel your Xbox Game Pass subscription. 2, boycott Candy Crush, Minecraft, and Call of Duty, flagship video game franchises owned by Microsoft. And 3, boycott all Microsoft gaming products, including Xbox branded consoles, headsets, accessories, and all games published on Microsoft-owned publishing labels such as Xbox Game Studios, Activision, Bethesda, and Blizzard. BDS was inspired by South African anti-apartheid and launched in 2005 by a group comprised of 170 unions, women's organizations, professional associations, popular resistance committees, and other Palestinian civil society bodies. Since then, it has launched several successful campaigns against Woolworths, Hewlett-Packard, and Eurovision. Other current targets include Reebok, Chevron, and Cisco. I think, also McDonald's, Burger King,
Yep. Starbucks.
No, Starbucks is not on that list.
Starbucks ain't on the list?
I don't think so.
It's
iffy. It's iffy.
We'll still boycott Starbucks anyway.
Do that anyway. Papa John's, Pizza Hut, and Domino's, all three on that list.
Yep.
So yeah. No longer will I be using this controller anymore for my PC gaming. Switching over. See, luckily for me, I have another camo controller that I can use on PC. It is great.
The DualShock?
Yep, it is my DualShock.
DualSense or whatever.
My DualSense. Yes, my DualSense here. I'm gonna officially plug it in now. There. Now it is my controller of choice on PC. Ready to go. And yeah, so I do want to talk about this too, because again, as you can probably see by looking at the screen over to my my left here, over here, this is still Windows 11. Again, like, so for them, it's like they're saying like boycotting Microsoft products. You still have to understand too, like, and this is not me making an excuse. This is me really explaining, because it's hard to do that for all Microsoft products, especially when Microsoft says like what 90% of the market share. I don't think, like, that may have gone down a little bit recently, but they still have like a huge chunk of the market share when it comes to personal computers. So it's not like you could just jettison it because the only options are Linux, which again, hey, do that if you can, or having to buy a whole ass Mac, which I'm still going to say is very unfeasible to do, even though you can get a MacBook for like $1,000. But even then, that's still like, oh, you could get a MacBook for only $1,000.
You've convinced me. I'm getting a Mac.
That's what I do. But yeah, it's like the things that you can't control, like canceling that Office subscription if you have it, cancel the Xbox Game Pass subscription. I just bought 2 Macs things. Foregoing getting these new games and stuff that are coming out of Xbox Game Studios, which, yes, of course, I know that South of Midnight came out, I believe, on the 7th.
Don't call me out, Major. Don't do it.
I'm not, because again, South of Midnight was something I was looking at up until this point. Or up until the boycott was announced. The only way I was going to play South of Midnight was on Game Pass, but if I'm canceling my Game Pass subscription, I'm not playing South of Midnight.
Yep.
Which means like I do lose access to Call of Duty, which means I lose access. Like my son is going to lose access to Minecraft. That's probably going to have to be a conversation that we have, because he technically has Minecraft on his Switch, which is a digital copy. So we technically still own it, even though, like, I mean, it's on his iPad. So we own that there too. I mean, I don't know. Like, he's still going to fucking McDonald's and Burger King. Well, McDonald's. So sometimes I should let kids be kids, but still let them know, hey, Palestine is on that map and Israel is a made up state.
Yep.
Even though he questions that because Israel is literally on the world map that he owns.
Yep.
So if they have a flag and it's on a map, it's a made up state, son. It's a made up state. But it's there. It's a made up state. But enough of Microsoft. Let's talk Nintendo.
Yes.
So the Nintendo Switch 2 was officially talked about at length on April 2nd.
It wasn't really announced. It was more or less like we're filling in more gaps about when it's coming out and some of the games and a lot of the games that are coming out with it or around the time of it.
So I do not have the story about like this, the overall that was included. That if you want that story, you can go check this majors.house/discord, find all the Nintendo Switch information from last week in there. However, one of the things that I do want to cover is yes, it was shown off officially last Wednesday. Like the 1080p 120 hertz screen on the device. It is capable in docked mode to go up to 4K 60. Dock has active cooling to kind of help with that. It has video chat with that C button that you can see on the controller right here. Got the game sharing and all like that. You know, you look, if you own a game card and you want to share with another Switch, you can share it for like 2 weeks. Apparently that was announced with the Switch 1 Direct that came out like the week before or some shit. There'll be some Switch 2 editions of games like that cost like $10 more. So news with that was like, hey, if you were to buy the Switch 2 edition of a game, it will have the Switch 2 content on the cart, and it will not be an extra download. So that's good for bandwidth. You know, we love the storage, but we also love saving people money and not having to worry about bandwidth caps, because that is definitely a thing and will probably become a worse thing knowing this administration. Am I forgetting anything so far? I mean, it's
Release
magnetic.
Date.
Oh yeah.
Release date.
I'll get to that in a second. That they got this magnetic attached Joy-Cons. Of course, we've all seen that. They did confirm
mouse now.
Yeah, they've confirmed mouse support.
Yes.
And yes, the release date, June 5th, 2025, retailing for $450 US. Excuse me, and $500 if you want to get the pack in Mario Kart World. So I think that's all the basics.
Yeah.
If there's nothing here, like something I remember while we're going through the rest of these stories, we'll try to fill in those gaps. But those are the basics.
Yes.
As Merge is talking about in the chat, as you're seeing on the screen, this it is another collaboration between Nintendo and Nvidia. Nvidia is claiming 10 times the graphics performance of the Nintendo Switch, which of course Ruin is wait, why is Merge telling Merge hello?
Because you called Ruin Merge.
Did I?
You said as Merge is talking in the chat.
My bad. I meant Ruin. What's up, Ruin? Yes, Nvidia is claiming 10 times graphics performance, but of course we're kind of weary of all that because Nvidia kind of said, you know, hey, 5070 is a 4090 at like half the price or a fraction of the cost, and it's not.
And the Steve said no. Steve's on all sides of the pond said nah.
But yeah, so again, also it has HDR, and AI upscaling through DLSS. Mm-hmm. So of course you're getting like games that are probably being rendered in a lower resolution being AI upscaled to higher resolutions to kind of help out with performance. But yeah, all that's going to shake out in the future, I guess, when people get more hands-on. Ooh, excuse me. And Digital Foundry, you know, does all of their testing with the device. Hey, Also, like I said, the Switch 2 will have video chat capabilities. You can get a regular webcam for the Nintendo Switch 2 that they sell. You can also buy a third-party camera. You can probably use a Logitech camera, or you can get this Hori Piranha Plant camera.
Wait, so did they say that like a regular USB cam would work?
They said you could use 80 USB camera.
Yeah.
As long as it can plug into USB-C.
Yes.
But yes. Also, it seems like it just sits on top of the Switch. There's no cable for it, or oh no, I see what it is. The plot is the dot. The pot is the dot, but you can take it out the pot and put it on top. Be Switch 2.
I guarantee if you plug that into the Switch, it's going to break.
Yeah.
First day you plug that thing into the top of the Switch, it's going to break.
A loud crunch, and then that's all. $50 down the hole.
Yeah, how much is this going? Does it say how much they're charging for it, or no? They have not. Oh no, $44.
Yeah.
It is $6 cheaper than the first party model advertised by Nintendo.
What is the resolution on that camera?
Huh?
I think it was like 160.
You ruined it, Kev. You ruined it. That was the segue. Because the resolution of that camera is 40p.
Yeah.
They have like leftover, what was it, like the Game Boy camera? They have like just leftover versions of that they're putting in the Piranha Plant.
Well, it's a Hori. Well, this is a Hori made product. And like I said, like before Kev almost gave it away, it is only $6 cheaper than a $50 webcam that Nintendo will sell you that has 1080p.
Yeah, I can 3D print a Piranha Plant for my Logitech camera.
Yeah.
I tweeted this and someone said, I guess I'm gonna play dress up with my actual camera.
Gotta actually get fancy.
Oh, here we go. Here's the picture of the actual camera, which I am going to argue looks better than a fucking Piranha Plant. I would use this camera on my computer if I could.
So when they have Nintendo Chat. So you can do a video chat while playing Mario Kart.
That also has like chroma key, so it's almost like can key you out wherever you sit, and it's like, oh, okay, screenless chroma, and I'm like, that's cool.
I mean, them AI features, man. Like, you know that Nvidia's built like some Nvidia broadcast shit into that thing, because remember, the microphone is on the Switch itself, not the controllers. So like it has to like, it's like doing that noise canceling joint. So like, you know, you got the Nvidia broadcast for the audio, you got Nvidia broadcast for the camera.
Yeah.
Also, why do I want a camera for my Switch? For video chat. You could chat with your friends when you're playing your Mario Karts.
Mm-hmm. And you can watch.
Yeah, the Switch. I'm not sure if it means like you can stream to Twitch directly from the Switch, but you can stream directly to your friends. So you can watch your friends play directly from the Switch.
Yeah,
but
you can watch.
I would be surprised if there isn't streaming capabilities on this thing, though.
Oh, no, don't be surprised because it's not. No.
Really?
I don't think that's gonna work. Because like.
That seems
like
that's a layup, man.
That would be a layup.
That's a layup.
Like imagine having that baked in, even if it was like Twitch or like TikTok support or YouTube support.
Do you think
streaming?
Do you think
that would be great?
All right, so let's say Nintendo doesn't build it in. Do you think they would allow Twitch to make an app in which it captures the screen?
No.
Already said hell no out loud the first time y'all said turn on my webcam while we were playing games on the Switch. Twitch streaming would make more sense to me. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. Having that ability to do that would be cool. Would Nintendo do it? No.
Also, I was listening to some podcasts over the past couple of days. It seems like Nintendo just made it to 2013.
Yeah.
2013, even though this feature was technically like the camera feature while playing video games was introduced with the Xbox 360 because everybody instantly just pointed at Uno and the Vision Cam. But yeah, 2013 also comes into play because Nintendo is also doing second screen experiences with the Zelda games with turn by turn GPS directions.
Just make a better map in the game.
I'm not gonna lie though. I kind of like that though.
No, just make a better map in the game.
I like that. I like it.
Because like you have the whole thing with the Sheikah slate anyway. Just add that in there with the game.
Look, make it like Forza. Make it like Forza, where it's just like you put a button like press Anna.
I mean, somebody made the joke. Somebody made the joke that Mario Kart World is Forza.
Yeah, I've heard that. So yeah, there's the camera on the Switch too. I mean, that's the microphone. Excuse me.
Yeah, the thing that kind of gets me though is like when they were doing the game chat, and I was like, and I just couldn't get over the fact that how absolutely janky the frame rate was when you were watching the other people play.
I still think that was pre-release. I am hoping that by the time this system launches, that shit's tightened up.
Right, to at least have that running at least 30 frames instead of like 15 that it was looking like. It looked like it was running at 15 frames a second. And I was like, I think they fixed that.
I'm hoping that they're giving you a realistic look at your expectation, because if they showed it at a crisp 4K 60,
you know what?
Right,
yeah,
you know what?
You got it.
Merge, that makes a lot of sense. Because if it's like 15, but then it runs like 25, it looks like, oh, this is actually better than I thought it would be. It's what I've been telling people to do with Nintendo Directs for so long, and that's lower your expectations.
Also, can I point out Faye looks like she is way too young to be a part of this group of friends here?
You never played games with your kid?
Oh yeah, you're right. Yep. Also, where's her camera? Like, she's holding the Switch in her hand.
The camera's plugged into the bottom USB port, and it's on a little stick on the table.
I guess
that's why they put two of them there.
I would say I was plugged into. I was thinking it was more like plugged into the dock.
But how would she be able to use it?
The Switch has to be plugged into the dock. Yeah.
Because that's the only thing that I can gather to me that would make more sense. Because where would it be plugged?
Either like Bird. Well, yes, technically Sid. Like Bird said though, because we can't see the bottom of the Switch, it may be plugged in at the bottom.
Okay. Still, kind of a lot.
It is. Also, again, shout out to Nintendo for giving you two USB-C ports though.
Yeah.
That way you can like, it's mainly so you can put it in the dock and still be able to plug in a USB port, USB cable, but also like you can charge that shit.
Just being able to play and charge it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like they were charging it in like tabletop mode, and I was like,
yeah, fine. Having that port at the bottom, like I get why it was there, but still.
Yeah. I mean, just like playing on the couch or like playing in bed, and then you're trying to charge the Switch and actually get more than an hour's worth of battery, and you can't do that without. I'm going to break the freaking charge cable in this thing. Yeah, really. That's I think what I was asking for the first one is like it would be wonderful if they had a second one or just one on the top instead of the one on the bottom.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, okay, so looking at this here too, like looking at the aliasing of this woman's head in this circle, I imagine they were like using Nvidia broadcast and it just wasn't ready yet. Because I feel like a lot of that low frame rate was like them trying to use Nvidia broadcast shit, and it just like, all right, this isn't optimized for the Tegra yet, or whatever SoC is in this thing.
I can't imagine them being like, okay, our target resolution is higher. We're going to show this janky postage stamp size video upscaled instead of just faking it. Like if they truly thought that they could hit a better resolution for the final product, I think they would have used it.
Well, I mean, this stuff was probably recorded like months ago.
How long does it take to re-record that 4-player video that they faked it anyway? They could.
Again, I mean, do you want Puddlegate? You're asking for Puddlegate at this point.
No, I'm just saying that's why they use that low resolution video that they had. I don't think there's any magic behind it. I don't think it's because of a technical thing. I think that's literally the quality of the camera that you're going to get. I think you're going to see that. Like, what is the video going to look like on a 1080p screen? Would you be able to tell?
It has to be better by the final product.
I think if they're showing those 4 video screens on a 1080p screen while you're playing Mario Kart World, those video things are going to be posted size, so you're not going to be able to tell that they're low resolution.
The resolution is not what I'm worried about. It's the frame rate that I'm worried about. Like we're talking, like I'm not talking about resolution. I'm talking about that frame rate.
Yeah. If you're worried about the frame rate on the video, for that you're probably losing in Mario Kart anyway. So yeah,
don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. You'll be way too loud over there. Or either my music stopped playing. Yep, that's more like it. The music stopped playing. Don't mind me.
So I asked you in chat, does the DualSense have a microphone?
DualSense does have a microphone. And I had to go to the settings. And I did, but I don't know if it. Are you asking me? Does it show up as a device?
I'm asking you what mic you're using right now.
Oh, the mic I am currently using is my Wave 3.
All right, and that's the one that's still selected in Windows.
Did it change?
No, that's just questioning that.
Because I'm sitting.
I think Discord sends you a notification of that. But okay.
Oh, so y'all may be hearing something different, but the stream isn't. All right, give me 1 second.
Gotcha.
So it changed for you all, is what you're saying?
Yeah. Oh, just asking.
Oh.
I was curious about that when you plugged it into your computer earlier.
It might have changed. There's no notification for it in here, but yeah, let me check. It sure as shit did. Hello?
Yes.
So I'm just gonna hold it like this now.
Yeah, there you go.
See, like it doesn't change anything for the podcast. That's why I didn't notice, because everything's being fed through voice meter. But yeah, I forgot that you guys are hearing whatever mic is selected in
okay.
In Discord. It definitely changed. Give me a second.
Okay. All right. So I noticed a quality change in your voice. I was just like, let me ask him real quick. But
thank you. Hello?
Yeah.
Hey.
Is that better?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I was like, what are y'all talking about? But that is fucking wild. All right. Let's see here. More Nintendo news. More Nintendo Switch 2 news. There are some accessibility features that are on the Switch 2. Let's see. You can save button mapping presets and add the features to the quick settings menu that opens when you hold the home button. The Nintendo didn't show how many configurations you can save to one account. System display colors can also be changed. You can do white background, black text. You can also invert colors with a black background, white text, and orange highlights or grayscale. You can zoom. You can do a zoom toggle. You can press the home button twice to zoom in or on a selected spot.
Can you remap the C button?
I do not think so.
Because the C button is useless if you don't pay for the online Nintendo Switch Online.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's right. That C button that is for voice or that is for chatting is a paid feature. It's like buying a BMW and you can see the button for your heated seats, but you can't use it because you ain't paid the BMW subscription for it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. There's also text to speech. We'll read text from the home assistant settings menu along with cursor placement that lets you customize reader voices. Nintendo didn't say whether any of its first-party games, such as Donkey Kong Bonanza, will support text to speech. The last two options let you convert voiced speech to text or written text to voice when using Switch 2's GameChat feature.
Do they use real voices in Donkey Kong games, or do they use the normal Nintendo like gibberish?
That's a good question. So I don't know why they included Donkey Kong Bonanza on this. Like, I don't think anybody talked.
Well, I guess it's text to speech. So speaking of the
Oh yeah,
that's
it
the
is
other way
text to
around.
speech,
But
yeah. Yeah, it seems like voiced speech to text is like in the game chat, but not the other way around. Like I imagine like voice text to speech in a game would technically just be subtitles.
yeah.
So I guess we overthought that one.
We did, but that's what we're here for.
A little bit.
Let's see here. Controversies though, coming with Switch 2. The Switch 2 Treehouse Live viewers have a very clear message for Nintendo. And what is it, Kev?
Drop the price. Drop the price. Drop the price. Drop the price.
I hopped into the stream because I was testing audio for something and saw everybody typing that. And I'm like, did they not see? They already announced the price. It just wasn't in the direct, but they announced the price. They already dropped it. Then it took me seconds. Oh, they're not talking about like they want to know the price. They know it. That's why they're mad.
Yeah, they're mad. They're mad because it's the price of what they're pricing, and it's like drop it.
Nintendo said no. We might raise the price.
It's the wild part. It's the wild part. It's like more. I think there are people who are more mad at the price of games than the price of the console. Like,
I mean, the console's a one-time deal.
yeah, it's a one-time deal. It's like them games though. Like when I tell you, like I say, there were many things that I noticed watching that Treehouse, One, the drop the price chant. Two, that Bob Rouse looking muv. I was like, how you just gonna have a whole afro and nobody explained that?
Wait, what's $90? There's no confirmed game that was $90.
Oh, well, see, that's the whole thing though, is because a lot of poor weird things with the tariffs. So there's an extent that digital game, there was a thing where people were running with it. Like digital games were going to be 80, and then the physical versions were going to be 90. That's what the thing was. Again, poor messaging.
Yeah, because I'm about to say like, no, that game was 80, and like I went to the website, it was $80.
That's 80. That's 80. That's 80 everything. That was
80. Point blank.
80.
Period.
It was $80,
like,
and it was
nobody has come out with a $90 game yet.
There's 80 here, and then there's like, it's 80 on all sides. It's like 80 here, 80 for physical, 80 for digital. It's 80 all over. But again, poor messaging.
What's going on, Dajin? That is Star Wars. That is Darth Vader talking to Lando Calrissian.
I've altered the deal. Oh yeah. In Cloud City, I've altered the
But
deal.
of course, I mean, I'll let the true Star Wars fan explain that to you.
Oh,
you already did. Yeah. It's the real line from Star Wars.
Yeah.
I've altered the deal. Right on, alter it further.
Hold on, I need a cup. I need a cup. I need a cup. Use a glass. Don't ask why I have a pickle jar in my room.
Philip, I have altered the deal. Pray I do not alter it further.
If the real Sim was here, he'd have a button that does it.
Yeah.
But I like West Coast Sid.
I don't have that luxury, so I gotta do the best I can. I'm out here got a soundboard with coconuts.
West Coast Sin barely has a webcam, so
Yeah.
He's working with the Hori one.
Yeah. So it's
pretty much.
It's one of those. It's just one of those things where it's like the messaging within like 2 and 3 days of people just running with stuff was like, we needed y'all, instead of y'all sitting around playing these games, we needed y'all to be like, okay, guys, let me tell you what's going on, guys. All right, this game's gonna cost like this much. This game's gonna cost like this much. This game's gonna be this. This is gonna be this. And just and really take that time and speaking on what's happening to the point where that's why, and I'm sure another article, somebody had to come and say, actually, it's this. And again, still poor messaging with it being like, hey, not all games are going to be this price. We're going to have varying prices on varying games. Is it cool? No. But but would it have been clear? Yes.
So I think Diogen makes a good point. I think there's technically there's been several games at $90 plus, and that's all these PC games and other games with 5 days early access for $90.
Which I get that. I get that, but it's not like the base game.
Right. No.
I think that's to see who's willing to pay that $90 price. And what they found out is that a lot of the audience is willing to pay that $90 price. So why can't we do the base game for $90?
Because again, it don't come with shit.
Right. The base game is the game. It's
the game is the game.
Nah, dog. Because again, I'm one of the people. I'm one of the people who will buy that base game at that base price.
Right, because I think,
and I think what they're saying is that base price is going to be that $90, and then you want that deluxe features, and that's going to be $110, $120.
Then I will wait till it comes out on Steam, and I will buy it on a Steam sale.
Oh, trust me, a lot of them games that I was excited about on that Switch 2 release, a lot of them games were coming out on Steam, and I was like, you know what? Yep, I will be doing that. Mm-hmm.
But I do want to address another thing that Dajin puts in the chat. Like the Nintendo aren't selling games but codes on cards. That was when it wasn't necessarily a rumor that was going around. It was because there was no messaging and there was a lot of speculation. I will say that was one of the things that was one of the things I talked about, because like, look, nobody has said anything to the contrary. But given Nintendo's track record,
and
giving the gaming industry's track record, I would not put it past anybody that they would sell you, because like all right, let's look at it from an ease of issue standpoint. And there's a story I will get to it in a second, but I want to kind of get through this. There's an ease of use to it, to where if you were to buy the game key card, as opposed to a 12, 15 digit code, it's so much simpler for somebody to put in a game key card and it downloads. You have authenticated that you own it, it will download, and you have it.
Yeah.
The one thing I was concerned with, because again, there was no messaging to the contrary from Nintendo, and given how everybody, like all these publishers are trying to DRM the shit out of everything.
Yeah.
I was afraid that that cart was going to get tied to the system like a digital game would.
Right.
Which means that I bought a physical thing that I cannot sell or lend to anybody.
Right.
Somebody did, like, so this happened on Blue Sky, which I feel like Diogen is indirectly taking shots at me for, even though they may not be. But somebody did come through on Blue Sky and said, well, no, that's not going to happen. Well, I was like, look, I told that person, I said, look, I want to be wrong.
Yeah.
This one right here, I want to be wrong.
Right.
And I will eat that all fucking day if I am wrong. Yeah. But knowing how fucking capitalism works, this is ripe for, oh, we will sell you a cart with nothing on it. It will download to your system and it will be tied to your system. And ain't shit you can do about that. You can't play this game without the cart. On top of the fact that, you know, I don't like digital only systems because there are people who do not have the bandwidth or the network infrastructure or the storage to constantly download shit.
Exactly.
So again, this was the Xbox Series S for me all over again.
Yeah.
So
that was the part that was like the most clearest part. That was the part that was really like the aggravating part, where it's like y'all could have told some of that in the midst of that direct, or at least
I don't think
sometime
they
afterwards.
Could. But see, that's the thing. There was a lot of things that were up in the air that were nebulous. Again, I think a lot of the things that they held back were things that they did not know when that video was produced.
But I mean, I am saying, if I would rather be clear in the beginning and then have to go back and say, actually, according to tariffs, and then and then recant tomorrow, than to be not clear, and then everybody and their mama is like making 50-11 speculation videos.
To be fair, like, now the
game
tariff
cards are like, yeah.
Okay, to be fair about the tariffs conversation.
Yeah.
Liberation Day was the same day.
Yeah.
Nobody knew what the fuck was gonna happen.
Right.
That Liberation Day presser and Nintendo's Direct happened, I want to say probably at the same fucking time.
Yep.
So everybody thought things were going to be great until after both events concluded, and everyone was like, we gotta clean some shit. I don't think Nintendo, for all of the shit that they do, was predicting what Donald Trump was going to do.
Right, and
they got caught with their pants down.
Right, and I would have rather had clear understanding of game pricing, console pricing down,
which they did.
Yeah, and then would have said, due to tariffs, that could be subject to change,
which they did.
And wait for further thing, and then that way to kind of tone down some of this rampant speculation, but then you still had rampant speculation.
Yeah, like again, because like the internet is just fast, everybody's reactionary.
It's not accurate.
Like,
yeah,
I can't put the pricing stuff on Nintendo directly because Trump did his shit at the same time.
Right.
That could not be helped. And imagine it took like 1 or 2 days for Nintendo to be like, yo, all right, we got to put pause on shit, because they had to kind of sit and like talk to lawyers and the marketing and the salespeople and say, all right, what the fuck do we do?
Right.
And also, like, whoever's in charge of the Japanese government, like there's a whole bunch of conversation had to happen in between the time they announced the price, which was probably told to journalists before the direct, but was embargoed. Yeah. So they don't tell them how long they knew about that price.
Yeah.
And then where it was announced, it's like, oh shit, we didn't expect them to do that in the Rose Garden. Fuck. Now we got to sit and think about something, and they
Right.
scrambled.
Right.
So nah, this ain't look. I will blame a corporation for anything, but this won't Nintendo's fault this time.
Okay. It was just one of those things where it was just like I couldn't in all honesty write about like the the this and that, like the information that I had, because it was like, because again, just what happened, Liberation Day happens, and then it's like everybody and their mama making whole ass videos and podcasts and shit on wrong ass information. And then, like I say, that's how we got $90 for like physical and $80 for digital.
Yeah, I didn't hear about that shit. I didn't hear about that shit until this week, and I'm like,
right,
okay.
And I'm like, and I'm like, and to the point, to the express point that all I could say was just, I am going to wait this out until cooler and more factual heads come together and say this is what the price is.
So you
after
won't.
the dust
So
settles.
then you'll be waiting until we overthrow capitalism,
No,
because there's
no.
one hothead that's going to keep you from getting that Switch too, regardless of what you wait for.
I mean the fact that I didn't have the hundreds of dollars that I'll just say to buy a Switch 2, nor the express need to buy a Switch 2. That was keeping me from doing it. But I was like,
the God Emperor Trump is going to keep you from buying that Switch 2 even when you're ready.
Which funny enough, he would not want to be the God Emperor because he would be hooked to a fucking machine.
Look, how do we? No, let's.
Yeah, because he would.
How do we know that he's not?
Oh, he would be.
No, how do you know he's not right now?
He would be, because we would not see him. If he was the God Emperor, we would not be seeing it. It would be somebody. It would be some old.
We wouldn't
dude in
see
a
Trump.
big
No,
hat.
Trump wants to be seen.
No, that's what I'm saying. When you mention the God Emperor, he wouldn't be seen. Nope, you would not see him.
Dodger, you mentioned something on price. I'm gonna get to that in just a second. I do want to continue this conversation about the game key cards, because again, that was brought up, and that is, I did move that.
Before we move on with the game cards, let's recap, make sure we're all on the same page. So there are 3 different kinds of games, right? Digital only.
Yep.
Physical only.
Yep.
Yeah.
Games on a cart that do not contain actual code. It's just basically a DRM key, a UV key to get the game from Nintendo store.
Right, and that's the game card. That's the game key card.
Yeah, the game key card. But that game key card is not tied to a console. You could give that key to your friend, and they could download the game and play it while they have possession of your card. Right.
So yes, that is.
And then
that
they
is the
lose
thing.
access to it when they give you your card back, and
Correct.
you can then play the game again.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the thing where it's like, initially I was like, yo, I don't like this game key card thing because it seems like it is physical DRM, but it came out later in the week that that was not the case, that take the damn card out, give it to somebody else. They'd have to download it still, but they would have access to that game.
So I don't see this as a way of sharing games. I think they have other dedicated sharing technologies they've announced. I see this more as a way of controlling piracy, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I say that they want you to download this game, and you've got this physical key that you have to have that's associated with it. And so you can't, it makes it, I guess, harder to potentially pirate the game. That's all I see it as. There's no other reason why they would have that versus just giving you that code, other than the ease of use of having, again, that physical card that you put in your system.
I mean, the reason that I was hearing today, again, this is based off a podcast from last week, would be like games that are bigger than the Switch, that are bigger than the game card.
Yeah.
Or, so the examples were like games that are bigger than their biggest game card, publishers not wanting to pay for a bigger game card, or indie devs trying to get into physical stores.
Yeah. instead of like doing like limited run collabs.
And who knows, limited run might be the people who will do that.
True.
Like you just make game key cards as opposed to like buying Switch cards and putting them on there. Or who knows, like Nintendo's like, hey, like if you tell them, hey, I want a game key card, they might produce them or something. Because they'll just be like printing out the game keys.
On hard plastic and metal that cost more than cardboard. It seems like a waste.
It does, but like again, there are many issues that I have with this system. The one thing I'm looking at though, it is an ease of use for people who are trying to buy shit for the Switch too. I don't have to punch in this 12 to 15 digit key to get a game. I can just go to the store.
The 15-digit key hasn't been stolen,
right?
From you before you got it home.
Technically, the game key card could have been stolen too.
Well,
but at that point you can still play it.
Like
yeah,
a gift card.
Never mind.
I think there's many times where a gift card has been, you redeem your gift card, you get home, you find out that someone's already taken it from you.
Didn't think that all the way through. That's on me.
Yeah.
Also, because I told you we're going to go through this, and I'm going to remember something that wasn't covered in the recap of the Switch 2. SD cards. Speaking of cards that will be difficult for people to remember to buy, or which things to buy. The SD card situation for the Switch 2, they are using this, micro SD Extreme or some shit?
The XE, yeah.
Which is not like your base micro SD cards. Those will not work with the Switch 2. So you have to make sure you get the right one. Which definitely is not going to cause headaches at Christmas time.
You should probably buy those now if you're expecting to get a Switch 2. You should probably have already ordered one.
Mm-hmm.
Dodgen, I agree. It's like getting the NVMe's for the PS5, but even that, like, I will still say, I feel like NVMe's are in a different level of purchase than a micro SD card. I don't think anybody would send grandma to go buy an NVMe from Best Buy.
Mm-hmm. On
top of the fact that, like, I feel like if I were to go and buy an NVMe Gen 4, that's just easy. Yeah. I don't think anybody's paying attention to the different types of micro SD cards. Yeah. Nobody has had to do that. Or at least not that I'm aware of.
I haven't heard of Express until the Direct, and I was like, "Oh, you're gonna need a micro SD Express," and I'm like, "I have not heard of this."
Yeah, I don't.
Since
like, yeah,
I mean, those Expresses have been out for a while.
Yeah, they have.
Check, like, if you've gotten yours on sale, you might actually already have one.
That's what I'm saying. I was looking to see if I had any SD cards. Oh wait, I do. I've got the cleaning folks.
I've got a SanDisk here, and this is an XC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this a data one that I have is not. I can't tell. It's very small.
Oh yeah. With cameras, you'll definitely need like the faster SD cards, the ones that can like have pretty quick read and write speeds.
Yeah, so this SanDisk Ultra 128 gig that I have here is, I don't even know why I'm trying to show it on camera. You won't see it, but I do have one right here.
Yeah.
Let's see. I have a feeling my Samsungs are XE. Mm-hmm. No, actually, this Evo Plus is not XE. Mm-hmm. I wonder what's in my Steam Deck. I don't feel like getting up to go get it right now, though.
Yeah, just to concur with Merge. If you are getting a Switch 2, you definitely want to get an Express card now. Now.
Switch. Speaking of another thing I did forget, 256 gigabytes base storage. Or this is the only storage.
Yeah, base storage, yeah. Which is not bad.
Also, the 1080p screen is LCD and not LED. Apparently, that's been a deal breaker for some people. I don't know. I've heard some reports that the LCD is actually really good.
Yeah, the LCD is really good. But
yes, I have to confirm the one that's in my Switch now is 120 gigabyte XC. So I'm going to format this and pop this right into the Switch too.
Oh, nice.
I'm able to get one. So
yeah, I feel like they're not, the XCs are not that difficult to get a hold of, or not before today.
Yeah,
because nobody was looking for them specifically. But there's probably going to be a run up on them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, go ahead and get one.
Yeah, when the Switch first came out, those SD cards got hard to find.
Yes, because it was like, oh, that's what I need. So yes, I would say if you are getting a Switch 2, whatever you can get now, go ahead and get that. Go ahead and get that now.
Or just see if you already got one. You probably do.
Good chance you have one, but if you don't, go ahead and go hit Amazon up, because I've seen on Blue Sky has been the deal aggregate sites have been saying, we got them express cards, come get them, So
guarantee the scalpers are going to start snatching those up if they haven't already. So
they're gonna get the branded ones, because
the ones that explicitly say Nintendo and got the Mario M on it and the star.
Yeah. Because what they'll do is they'll just say, these are the ones you need because it's got the Mario, because it's got the Super Mushroom on there.
Look, I even got got by someone on Amazon because I bought I thought were Samsung USB sticks. I think they're like Samsung. I'm like, the fuck did I buy? Realized it was just crap. It was crap. I said, you know what? I held on to them. I didn't feel like throwing them away. I'm not using them, but it's like there as a reminder of like, dude, you really need to learn to read shit.
I would put that shit in plexiglass and like put it on my wall.
Learn to read.
Mm-hmm.
And more Nintendo Switch 2 news. Of course, Nintendo confirmed Switch 2 uses DLSS and ray tracing, but they're vague on details with regards to that. So
very vague. Very.
Ray tracing on your Switch.
Yeah. The tracing of rays. Never thought I'd hear that in a million years.
Of course, if you haven't been living under a rock, you would have known that yesterday you would have been able to pre-order a Switch 2, but you couldn't. This is directly because of the tariffs. Yes. This is what they decided to do several days after the announcement of the Switch 2 because of the tariffs.
Yeah, because they were like, we do not know what's going to happen, but we were just going to go with it. And then now that caused people to buy, even going up as high as IGN deals, saying like, hey guys, if you want to Switch 2, you could pre-order one in UK. People are pre-ordering UK Switch 2s.
Yeah, because not only were the pre-orders canceled in the US, they were also canceled in Canada. Also, I found out that Japan has a Japan-only Switch 2.
It does. They have two Switches. They have the Japanese only, and then they have the multi
the regular one.
The multi-language one. But it's known as the Foreigner or Gaijin, which, because and it's more than a MSRP American Switch.
I mean, that's just because of the yen.
Because of the yen, yeah. But
it's priced comparatively to where it should be with everybody else's Switch 2s. That Japanese one that costs way less. And I want, like, other than the fact that it's just for Japan, I want to know why it costs less.
What's the difference?
That's what I want to know.
I'm just not hearing about this.
Like it's only like, so what we know right now is that it is only in the Japanese language, and it's only available in Japan. And for what I said, it only plays Japanese Switch games.
So the thing that I would probably think though is it's like, because I believe the Switches are being manufactured in Vietnam, right?
No,
I don't know if all of them are, but I have been hearing that that's where the U.S. is probably getting theirs.
The U.S. is probably getting theirs, yeah. So I would just say, like, wherever they're being manufactured from on the Japanese side, it's probably considerably cheaper making those variants as opposed to the multi language ones, which I feel like they are just saying like, well, foreigners are going to be buying the multi-language one. So, i.e., you know, make it expensive. Like, make it expensive because people are going to be trying to buy those in lieu of trying to buy others. So I guess make expensive to cover the costs. But then it's like, then foreigners in Japan, like foreign expats are like, what you say fuck me for? Like, you know, like,
no, I'd be like, look, I live in Japan. I have a Japanese Nintendo account. I'll learn Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
I will learn Japanese right quick and in a hurry. Somebody's going to write a guide that will translate what these buttons mean.
Yeah. Yeah. People have whole script translations of scenes.
Just stick your phone over top the screen, turn on Google Translate.
Look, use visual intelligence.
Mm-hmm. Visual intelligence, there you go. There'll be, 3 or 4 second delay, but you'll be good.
Yeah. Look, only play turn-based RPGs on it.
That works.
And Nintendo finally addresses the switch to a Mario Kart World price controversy. It says those pesky new U.S. tariffs weren't behind the $449.99 price point.
Right.
So get ready to hear phrases like variable pricing.
Oh yeah, variable. Oh, good old variable pricing.
So this is what's making me think that the Switch 2 will still be $449 and $500.
It has to be, but yes.
But yeah, like for people who were sitting there saying that, oh, like it's $449 because of the tariffs. Like, no, all that shit was set before Humpty Dump got up there and decided to announce whatever. Mm-hmm. Not to mention that today or yesterday, he canceled all that shit.
Mm-hmm. It's them tracing of rays, baby. That got to pay. It's 4K 120.
There is that. There is also a little bit with inflation, things like the price of Coke, costs 5 cents, would cost $1, and that whole thing. Also, and I need gamers to understand this. This is where I become I am your friendly communist, Marcus, Major Linux Summers here, letting you know that as a worker, your wages have not risen with the cost of living. Mm-hmm. So what you think you may be doing shit now, but guess what? Nintendo just fucking rocked your world. And said, no, boo-boo. Shit, the minimum wage is not raised since 2009, dog. Like, technically, if minimum wage if minimum wage risen like it was supposed to, minimum wage would be set at $25 an hour right now. Mm-hmm. Which means you probably should be making more than what you're making right now.
Right.
But the billionaires have been taking your money and pocketing it themselves, and you've been fighting over scraps. And I don't care if you got high 5, 6-figure jobs, you still ain't making what you should be. But you say get mad at the people at Waffle House and McDonald's and Amazon asking for better wages. You get mad at them because they try to make more than you, when you should be getting mad at your employer because you aren't getting paid what you're worth. And Nintendo is making an embarrassment out of you and everybody else in this fucking country right now.
it was. I think it's that whole like, because I think when like 2020 happened, and the pandemic happened, and and some of the consoles came out. I think we were home, money was made, work from home was there, stimmies were there, so it just felt more like spending $500 on the console just was like, okay, that's what I need to do to while the hours while I wait, while I wait and see if this like once in a lifetime pandemic comes gets me. So it's not really that bad. It was still bad, but it wasn't that bad. But now here we are, a $450 console, $500 bundle in the midst of tariffs and definitive wage stagnation, with no stimmies, with no reprieve, with no like reprieve. Everybody's outside. Everybody's outside. Nobody is like under the miasma of fear that 2020 was. It just makes more sense to be like, oh,
no,
do you know how much eggs cost? Like,
there's a little bit of that, but there's also like, I don't know. I feel like holding a Switch 2 up to a PS5 is like, yeah, those are not equal.
No.
Either the PS5 should cost way more,
right,
or the Switch 2 should cost less.
Yes.
But economics and capitalism would say that PS5 should have cost way more than it does.
Way more than it did, because But again, it's that understanding of like, as which is the term of loss leader. And what we always say, like, we'll call, consoles don't necessarily make, consoles are not made to their worth because they're trying to sell you on games. They're trying to sell you on services. They're trying to sell you on other stuff. So they'll be like, also the
Switch is just running fucking Nvidia shit, and Nvidia's just been overcharging people
and
point blank,
like,
period.
Yeah, especially when you got my man said, the more you buy, the more you save. And it's like
and so it's like, like part of me, it does feel like the PS3 $699 shit, or $7, or what was it, $599? It feels like that somewhat.
Oh, you mean like PlayStation 3?
Yeah, what did I say?
I know where you were going when you
I
said
thought it said PS3. Yeah, like the PS3 $599 bullshit. Like you'll want to get a second job or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember them saying that. Oh, you want to work more to afford this.
Like,
and then it was like
it feels like that in a way, but at the same time, it's like then that made no sense.
Then it didn't.
Now it's like, I don't know. There's a lot of extenuating circumstances as to why it does cost this much, but keep in mind the system is built to keep you down. This would have been where things should have been. The game, like. And even with the cost of games going up to $80, we may hate to see that after it's been $60 for so long, but we should be making more money by now, and we aren't.
To offset the cost, it's like the prices have gone up, but the wages have stayed stagnant.
Yeah, and so this is that wake up call to where it's like, yo, really, gamers gain class consciousness when? Because Nintendo just called y'all broke ass niggas out.
They called you poor. It's like when I go in. It's like when every time, and Major can contest to this. Every time I go into the Fortnite shop, it's like the game just called me poor. Like I just looked how much skins is. I did the skin math, and it was like, oh, this is a $20 skin. That's a $25 skin. It calls me poor because I know there's no way I could be able to to cop that.
Like, let's see here, steampower.com. Because also this is hilarious. And like, again, if you aren't trying to get a Switch 2, I'm just saying there's a Steam Deck for $400.
I have really truly been like the Black Order and have been telling everybody, rejoice, get a Steam Deck, I've been telling the Cozy fans. I've been telling the indie darlings. I've been telling everybody, no, if you play any of these games, that if you're playing Fantasy Life, if you're playing go ahead and get a Steam Deck. Because if you're playing Fields of Mystery, get a Steam Deck. If you're playing Coral Island, get a Steam Deck. If you're playing like Stardew Valley for the umpteenth million time, get a Steam Deck. Because a lot of the updates are not going to be on Switch for a very, very long time. Like for months. The Stardew I think it was like Stardew 1.3. That wasn't on Switch for like 3 and 4, maybe up 6 months, because it's one guy in a cave with a box of scraps putting that bad boy together the best way he can. Eric is doing the best job
need to get a button for that.
Tony Stark bit out of the cave with a box of scraps. But that's what I'm saying. It's like you're not going to get those updates quick, fast, in a hurry, and a lot of these games are early access. I was playing Go-Go Town on my Steam Deck, and that game's not even out. Game's not even out for 1.0 yet, much less for consoles. And I'm playing it in bed, so it would stand to reason for a lot of my people to just get a Steam Deck, even if get a Steam Deck and not stress about trying to wait for the Switch version to come out. Especially if you're trying to play Coral Island, that Switch version ain't coming.
I mean, so Dinah, I guess the hardcore fans are going to get a Switch because it's offering something that they want that they can't easily get somewhere else. For those people, absolutely, those people get a Switch. But a lot of people, it's like you don't need it.
You don't need it.
You have something they can play it right now. You don't have to wait for those things.
You don't gotta wait. You don't gotta wait for it.
So yeah, it's a weird time. There's a lot of extenuating circumstances that are leading to the price and leading to that sticker shock. But again, it's a thing. Again, everything I do, everything I focus on, everything that I am fascinated with, I can say, again, the struggle is real and they're all interconnected. As much as gamers think that, my life is good. It's no, it's not. Your material conditions are not where you think they are. If you are complaining about a Switch 2 right now, something that you should be able to afford, but can't because of your wages, or the fact that everybody's being laid off right now, there are deep systemic problems. And you can say the fact that you can't get a Switch 2 is the least you work. I don't know. I feel like that's kind of a good place to look if you're looking for a reason to get mad at something right now.
Mm-hmm.
That is justifiable fucking anger. Why can't I buy a Switch 2?
Yeah.
What is going on right now to where I am priced out of a Switch 2?
Why am I upset at $80 games? Start there. How come I can't afford $80 games? Start there.
The cost of living includes leisure. You're not just work. We should be able to afford to have fun in this life. And if you can't, what's the point?
So
why am I tired and I can't play the $450 console that I bought? Start there.
Yeah, don't let people sit there and tell you this is unimportant. There are things in life that we should be able to afford. We should be able to live in comfort. That is the whole thing. And capitalism keeps you from doing that.
Yep.
So yeah, again, gamers, look, I'm looking at y'all. For y'all to be playing a whole bunch of fucking games about revolutions and taking the fight to the man, I'm gonna need to get you through your thick fucking skull. There's some of that shit, it's kind of right. It don't make any sense if we consider to be fed this shit and ain't nobody really putting 2 and 2 together.
Mm-hmm.
Shit's got that fucking bad for you, dog. It's been that bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's just for a lot of people, it's just taking some speed running fascism.
Yep.
To get you to realize that. But shit, we've been here.
It's whatever gets you mad enough to come to the tape, to come to the understanding place is if that is the case, then I'm like, hey, how are you? Welcome.
But yeah,
because it's bad out here.
Yeah, again, sure, we can look at Nintendo and say, they did sure make this thing really expensive. And I'm not absolving Nintendo of that.
No.
But at the same time, it is a system that is meant to grind you to fucking dust and not pay you your worth.
Mm-hmm.
That is keeping you from being able to do the things you want to do. Whether it is buy or even play a Switch.
I mean, there's like...
Whether it's to get rest. Enjoy time with your family.
I mean, I seen a story where people were using, like, Klarna was gonna start using, like, DoorDash is gonna start using Klarna for, like, food delivery orders.
A payment plan on
payment plan,
food.
Payment plan on lunch. What are we doing? 4 easy payments for a Firehouse sub. What is happening, dude? And so that's why I'm like, if that doesn't bring you to the table and say, you know, like, as if to say, this, you know, shit's bad out here. Like, if it wasn't for, like, if it's not $10 eggs or, you know, Klarna on, like, you know, that first date.
And again, you can't blame.
There's no way I'm going to collections for a burrito. Like,
no,
come on now.
We're not GoFundMe. We can't GoFundMe on like Panera Bread. That's not what we need to be.
Kickstart dinner, baby.
Yeah.
Fund my dinner on Kickstarter.
Yep.
Sub to my OnlyFans so I can eat tonight. Ow.
I mean, real talk. Yeah.
I mean, go feed me. Right.
Go feed me. Oh. Don't put that evil on me.
Fucking ridiculous. This shit is fucking ridiculous. And like I'm sorry. I know no, because I've already.
If you don't own that domain, you need to buy that right now.
Go feed me.
Yeah, that's a.
If you don't own that domain, go buy it right now.
Yeah, go buy that domain.
Go
I will scoop that up at the end of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing to stop me from doing it right now. The only reason why I'm not doing it is because my browser is showing.
Because real talk, that's a John Oliver ass domain right there. Like, you click on it, and it just takes.
Yeah, go get that right now.
It is fucking
an hour head start.
This shit is fucking ridiculous. And like again, like I know I have said like right at the beginning of the Trump administration, I was like, look, this is now a political podcast. Because it's been political. It's been political, but now it's like, look, the guardrails are off now.
It was me always saying, like, this is a tech podcast that we talk about political. That was me basically saying, like, if you're going to make this political, go ahead and pull the trigger.
Like,
do it.
It does not make any fucking sense.
Right.
That we're spending too much time bickering with each other about the ills of society. Mm-hmm. It's something I've been talking about before. Like, I know people are fucking pissed at people who voted this way or the other, right?
Yeah.
But guess what? We're all in this fucking shit now. The time to be mad at that shit was before January 20th. Get that shit out. Get your panties out of a fucking bunch.
Yeah.
It's time to get to fucking work now. We're all in the shit. We're all workers in this situation. I do not, like, again, it is me, like, I do not care who you fucking voted for. All I know is, look, do you stand 10 toes down with that motherfucker? Good. You can get the bullet too. But if you are as pissed at me at what the fuck is happening right now, then we need to move in lock fucking step.
Because you're mad at me for telling you that the energy that you have exhausted. You're mad at a random person on the internet when you're not mad, when you should be mad at. Why are you mad at me? Because any conversation where a person is mad at me for telling you that you look weird for the things that you say, and you're mad at me, I said, my brother, you're not mad at me.
No.
You're not mad at me. You're mad at what I'm saying to you because it offends you. I am not the cause of your problems. I am not the cause of your societal woes.
Yeah, what's the thing Jasmine says? Look, what I am saying to you might sit there and trigger your cognitive dissonance or some bullshit. I'm sorry, it's not bullshit. It is definitely true. Because yeah, it's like as soon as she says something true, it's like
yeah. So it's like you gonna be mad. You're not mad at me. You're mad at what I said, and what I said offended you because it triggered your sensibilities. But I apologize.
I don't.
Fuck off.
I don't.
No. I say I apologize that you feel the way that you feel. But I meant what I said. What I said. I don't like what I said the other day. Like, what I'm not apologizing to you what I said. I'm just apologizing the fact that I yelled at you, and I shouldn't have yelled at you. That was my whole thing. I like my tone shouldn't have been loud. I did stand on the fuck you, but I did not. But I shouldn't have yelled it across the room to everybody, and that wasn't appropriate because I could have been upsetting to somebody that wasn't expected. No, I told you to go fuck yourself, and I stand on that. But
like how you were respectful Monday when you called me out, and I was like, you know what, you're right. I overstepped. My bad.
Yeah, because it was one of those things like,
you were right, and you were right. I was wilding. I was a little out of pocket.
Right. So it's one of those things where I'm like, we cannot go and be in these places and spaces and build and talk about building community, building understanding, building coalition, and not telling somebody to stop saying the B word 15 times. That's what we need to say. And that's what we're saying. Like, we cannot be in community with people and coalition with people without telling people
that ain't right.
I think you're wrong. And I think
right.
You need to stop.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and that's okay. Because that's what building community means, is being with people
keeping
that you're not going to
accountable
like every day. Yeah, it's holding people accountable, and then also saying, "Hey, you're talking really weird right now. Stop it."
Yeah.
And if you're mad at me for telling people that,
that's on you, dog. Yeah, that's on you.
I'm sorry you felt that way, but I'm going to continue to do this, and you can fuck off forever.
But yeah, the thing is, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm gonna say this. I was like, somebody says, I seen a line in the podcast that says, "Off is the direction you can fuck," and I'm like, yeah, that's what. And I would never unhear that, and I will continue saying that.
But yeah, I mean, it's a thing where we're so mad at each other. Like it's the capitalists. It's this rugged individualism that capitalism has just instilled in everybody. Towards like we have to sit there and blame an individual as opposed to a system that's enabled this. And if people are waking up after making a terrible decision, you know what you do? You don't fucking chastise them. It's like, hey, you know what? You made a bad. Good. You own up to it. Good. Then let's make this fucking right.
Right.
It's why I'm fucking pissed at people who are mad at the fucking protesters from last weekend, right? It's like, oh, y'all like, oh, it's with the police, and y'all said they're having like a walkabout. Like, I'm not mad at the people who got mad enough to actually go and do something, and they went to the wrong protest. Yeah. I'm mad at the motherfuckers I'm mad at the organizers who are willingly cooperating with the police and also keeping, black folks from saying black things and Palestinian from saying Palestinian things.
Yeah.
At these protests. Because as quiet as it kept, that organization is, deep-pocketed Democrats, and they ain't your fucking friends. Mm-hmm. If Nancy Pelosi is at your protest, you at the wrong fucking protest. If AOC is at your protest, you at the wrong fucking protest. I don't care how progressive she acts like she is, but she still can't fucking say genocide. Mm-hmm. Bernie sure as shit can't say genocide. As much as he talking about, I'm for the worker. Motherfucker, you can't say genocide. You can't say genocide. You ain't for me, motherfucker.
So it really has come down to it's like that's why I would say like nobody's like I say when I say movements and no movement is above criticism, and when I always like.
But yes, that bouncy house bullshit was bullshit though.
Oh yeah, that's what I was. That's what I was showing to you the other day, and I was like,
see that video, the videos you show, they were making two different arguments. Whereas they were talking about the bouncy house, but they were also just chastising the people at the protest, not just that one woman who was wildly out of pocket. Because I'm like,
was wild.
No,
yeah,
you one individual who said that thing. You are like the racist. No. You move out.
Right.
But everybody else who was there and mad, who understands why they're there.
Right.
Because I will take my son to a protest. But we're not here for fucking bouncy houses and to have fun.
We're not doing face paintings.
No.
Like, people like
Granted, some of the Palestinians who have been at our Palestinian protests did do some face painting, but they were like painting like the Palestinian flag. They were making it somewhat comfortable, but we all knew what we were there for.
I would always say like you're always gonna have the messages where like the protest happens and you're gonna have like messages of like you go to a protest and you'll see people with like the straw hat Luffy flag, the straw hat pirate flag,
which I saw on Saturday.
You saw that, yeah.
Yes,
because it's
I did
like,
see one.
but like I say, if you are familiar with One Piece would have been. It's like the question of like, this is the type. If this was the movement that if Luffy was dealing with this, Luffy would have punched it. Do not be the person that Luffy would have punched. Like that's because like say Luffy be breaking down whole like systems of oppression. You know, just because it's there. Picked a fight with the entirety of the world government, punched a celestial dragon in the face, which is something you do not do, according to the thing. Broke down the liberation of the fishmen, and then also being like, oh, and having a song that is literally called "The Drums of Liberation." Do you hear the drums of liberation?
I hear the drums of liberation.
Oh yeah. So it's so like I say, it's wild to me that somebody could be. It's hard for me to come to make sense with people who would be bigots and racist and misogynists to be like lover of One Piece when you have watched Luffy crack his knuckles and Gummo know people into unexistence. Like, you know. So I'm like, okay. So yeah, like I said, there's just gonna be times when you're just gonna see like, you know, straw hat Luffy flags at protests because that's what people break down to see, you know. So it'd be wild though.
All right,
but
that was a tangent. But yeah, so
that was
Nintendo
the tangent
Switch
part of the podcast.
$450 $500 with Mario Kart World. Yeah, I would say cash on sale or something. News? Huh?
Yeah,
so we're still on Switch.
Yeah, that was the last story though.
That was the last story, but yeah, Switch 2. I ain't buying it.
In labor news, Actors Union stages BAFTA protest seeking improved conditions for performers. In an industry that generates enormous wealth, equity members deserve better. And again, what we are saying here, there are people at the top who are keeping you from sitting there getting the things that you need, that you deserve. You should not only be surviving, but thriving in society. Mm-hmm. We just have to stand up and fight for it. Mm-hmm. So yeah, shout out to UK Actors Union Equity. They were calling on the games industry to improve conditions for performers. Protest took place outside last night's BAFTA Game Awards as equity members held placards reading union contracts in gaming now. So yeah, shout out to those union members. Shout out to the union. You know what? Like I said, Tech Talk Thursdays, DC analysts, we pro union, baby.
Oh yeah, definitely pro union.
Ubisoft holds firm in the Crew lawsuit. You don't own your games.
We would like to say, if buying is not owning, then pirating is not stealing.
Quote, frustrated with Ubisoft's recent decision to retire the game following a notice period delineated on the product's packaging, plaintiffs apply a kitchen sink approach on behalf of a putative class of nationwide customers, alleging 8 causes of action, including violations of California's false advertising law, unfair competition law, and Consumer Legal Remedies Act, as well as common law fraud and breach of warranty claims. What? I'm not a lawyer. I don't know what the fuck that means. Throughout Ubisoft's response, the company's lawyers argued that along with the licensing issue, the plaintiffs don't have a case, be it because of a statute of limitations, no real, quote, cognizable injury, and what they describe as inadequate arguments. Including in the response are a few pictures of the Crew's video game packaging presented to prove that Ubisoft has labeled at least some of its versions with the licensing note. Yeah, I don't know. It's a bunch of legally. Oh shit, Kev disappeared.
Yeah, he's got to be right back.
Although it's a bunch of legalese saying that, hey, the games that, or at least according to Ubisoft, and I think Steam has also said this too, that the games that you buy, you do not own. You essentially just have a license to keep them on a hard drive and play them at your leisure.
Yeah, at least here in California, they have to say that you are purchasing a license to play instead of buying it. And I think Steam is complying with that.
Yeah, I see that on
So
my Steam too.
Yeah, so they are, just basically applying that everywhere because everyone's pretty much sick of it. But it's also putting it into plain terms that you don't actually own this game. And that's been in the licensing terms forever for all these games, is that you're purchasing a license to play, you're not actually buying it. But that hasn't, the language of purchasing a game has not matched that.
No.
Yeah. That just says it's part of the reason why you can't share your account or pass on your account when you die. That's the only reason why I know about the Steam one. It's because you can't pass it on when you die. So, well, what the fuck am I gonna do with all these damn games?
I'd be like, in my will, I bequeath Munchkin my Steam collection.
No, you don't.
Here's my password.
Yeah,
as long as Steam is getting their money, they won't question it.
Yeah, like at this point, I'll just give you the fucking password. What the fuck are we doing?
What are we doing?
Yeah, they don't care. As long as it's a single person who's playing it at one time, they don't care.
It's the family account. Now we're over to content creation news, and look who's here.
Musky Musk.
It's a petty little punk ass motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to replace the B word now. I overused it early this week, so I'm cutting that.
Blew your allotment.
Yeah, I blew the allotment at the beginning of the week. Front loaded it, so punk ass little motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
Path of Exile 2 players bully Elon Musk during eerie airplane stream. Now, I'll give it to Kev. And I feel like multiple times he was trying to tell me something. And I didn't get it until he showed me a video. And then it clicked finally. So when I initially looked at this, I thought it was they were bullying him, like, I guess on Twitter's chat, which I'm like, okay, they bully him, but they can block. I'm pretty sure it's got moderated somewhere. They can get rid of it, right? It wasn't until I saw the TikTok video that Kev sent me that I realized how bad it was.
Mm-hmm. It was terrible.
My man, homie here,
oh yeah,
was getting harassed in in-game chat.
Yeah, that's right.
This is impressive for a number of reasons. One, he has no control over that.
No control over it.
I mean, he could turn off the in-game chat, but he's probably using it for a reason. I don't know. But he didn't.
Mm-hmm.
2,
Yep.
people would actively need to know what his handle was. Go find him in the game, which means they all logged in just to harass a man.
Yep.
Some of these people may not have owned the game until after they saw him playing, bought the game just to harass this man.
Yep. Because paid early access, they were like, my brother, be like, or probably logged in on people's accounts, be like, hey yo, let me use your Path of Exile real quick. I need to.
And they were like, why? Oh, I'm gonna harass Elon Musk. No, get your own because I'm about to.
No,
He would have
my
spent
brother.
more
I'm
for
gonna say
less.
it. Yep. So Path of Exile 2 probably got a healthy bump in new additions.
Or just in one day saw a user spike for like 2 hours.
I would have loved to seen like the Steam numbers of that for that one stream to see, to see what it looked like to see the concurrent players
Now,
just to log in to say Grimes will never love you.
Now, here is an example of the things that were said to him.
Oh gosh.
Multiple players asking Musk if he needs help boosting his account. You have no friends and you will die alone. From a player named Elon is a pedophile. Which means somebody either changed their name or created a new account just to say that.
Yeah. Ooh, child.
Supporters begging Musk to turn on Do Not Disturb mode to prevent the hate spam. So is this man so new at the game he doesn't know how to do that? I thought this man was a fucking genius. Who's played hours. And who's so good at the game.
Yep.
Turning off chat was literally the first thing that I did in that game.
Yep.
Literally the first thing that I figured out how to do was turn off chat.
So the fact he did not know how to do that and was catching all that, and you could just see his feeble attempt to try to like block the chat, only to then just watch it just like get even stronger. And it's like,
I just don't understand. Like, if you have all this money, like, why are you trying to get people to like you? Just go live in your own universe somewhere quietly somewhere.
It's the only currency billionaires want now, because they have all this money. They want to be liked. They want to be loved. They want to be respected, validation, and that's what we always say. Like, it's all, when we say what we like to say is like, it's all fun and games till you get pulled into Congress. Is because not because they're afraid of Congress, but they just don't want to be. They just don't want to be looking like. They just don't want to look weird at Congress. It's like it makes them look bad. Like Zuckerberg was looking like Lore from fucking TNG.
But now what it looks like.
And now he looks like Jack, and looks like a fake ass Jack Harlow. Because he was like, nah, let me grow my hair out curly and wear like chains and like V-neck shirts and
we need more like, dick energy at Meta. Like, bro, shut up.
Shut up.
Shut the fuck
up. You were never that guy, bro. You were never that guy.
Please stop.
It's like that, to quote that white guy in that video, you're not that guy, pal. You're not that guy. Like, but yeah, that's what they want. They don't want to be, they don't want nobody to like, they don't want no progressive guy, thundering away at them. And they don't want like no old man like Kennedy just sitting up there talking about, I can't understand my password. And why is like Facebook getting in the way of my pictures every time I go? And I'm like, bro, he's not IT.
I can't watch my omelet sex.
Yeah. Like I can't, like it's
that
like
shit is still fucking weird, bro. I like omelets more than sex. No. I like sex. I like sex a lot. I'm just saying how much I like omelets.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you spent 5 minutes on this omelet bit, bro.
Right. So it's like so nobody wants to look bad. That's why they avoid it so much. It's like when Satya and Della don't want to go there. Like Sundar doesn't want to go there. They because they look stupid because their images are carefully manicured down to the molecular level. Like they go to like Squawk Box and it's like softball questions, or they go to like Fox Business and it's softball questions. It's like like article write-ups in Forbes or like the Wall Street Journal. Everything is like clear. But this guy wants to be like a man of the people and a man of the people and a meme lord. But the problem is but like I say, unless you're like his diehard supporters, nobody likes you because of what you represent. You're just a terrible person. You're just not a good person, and you're trying to seek validation from people who don't want to who never want to give it to you, because you're not genuine in the validation. You're not genuine in the fields that you're trying to seek validation in, because we know you're not that guy. Again, you're not that guy, pal.
Yeah, seeking validation from people like Grimes. When people told him to put on some Grimes, which, as the most divorced man alive, he did.
Yeah.
People citing Musk's own bizarre criticism of chess for being too simple and having no fog of war or technology trees.
Yep.
Quote, "You will always feel insecure and it will never go away." Mm-hmm. From a player named Elon Musk is pathetic.
It's like, your insecurities is not my problem, and yet you're making your insecurities my problem.
Someone pretending to be Ashley St. Clair, a conservative influencer who says she is the mother of Musk's latest child, begging him to pay child support. Quote, "Your daughter was right," likely referencing Musk's estranged daughter, Vivian Wilson's recent conversation with Twitch streamer Hassan Piker. I might have called him Hassan Abi, but his name is Hassan Piker.
Yeah.
He goes by Hassan Abi on Twitch though, right?
Yeah, that's his handle.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. Yeah.
Multiple insults about how Musk plays the game. Quote, "Elon, how is it possible to look this dumb and ugly? Why is your Tesla company falling apart?"
Yes.
Now, this is not me editorializing. This is from the article itself. The weirdest part of the stream, however, was Musk's wordless, dead-eyed stare through the whole broadcast.
I don't feel so bad now that I wordlessly dead-eye stare myself through my streams.
I mean, the billionaires do it.
It's what I'm doing right now.
I'm doing it right now. I'm like...
The author says they've had the archive playing in the background while writing this story, and Musk hasn't mumbled more than a few words at a time for the last half hour.
Jesus.
I keep flipping back to the video thinking he must be doing something other than wordlessly clicking through a computer game on a luxury aircraft. Excuse me. But nope, there's his face staring blankly at the screen as other players' contempt fills his in-game whispers. As for what Musk did in Path of Exiles 2, he lost several hardcore characters, then quit when the connection got bad and he died to a tutorial boss.
Yep.
Your man's his buns.
Yeah, he's been buns.
Why would you
Great
play
man.
hardcore characters on a Starlink connection?
To prove that it could be done, Merge.
You proved it couldn't be done.
Wow.
That latency on that.
Next got bad. That's probably. It's like you thought that was gonna eat. You thought he was gonna eat. I'm gonna be playing games on my private jet using Starlink, and then proves that doesn't work.
A bullshit.
How do you use connection to a satellite when you're closer to the satellite?
You were literally closer. You were literally closer to the satellite. And any closer, you'd be high-fiving the satellite.
I'm curious. What are the comments looking like? Wow, I'm mad somebody came into the comments of this Polygon article to claim that's what they said.
People were like, no, I have to log in to Polygon. Polygon.
Path of Exile has no rules on cyberbullying or harassment. Tencent does not give a fuck.
Tencent said, no.
Stop. Wow. This is the best comment section I've ever read on a website, a gaming website, no less.
I mean, sadly, Elon has proved that he is not a virgin.
The blank stare is probably the ketamine. And if you think it's the liberals making fun of him, I've got a shocker for you. Everyone hates this fool.
I mean, everybody hates Elon.
So that is not why I have my blank stare right now. Is ketamine.
We ain't high.
Yeah.
We ain't high enough, buddy.
There ain't enough ketamine in the nation, boy.
After reading this article and seeing the comments here, I don't want to hear another liberal cry about bullying. The left, what? Okay.
That's a flex, bro. To be so hated. Because like I say, imagine if Nadella was out there jumping on stage. Imagine.
Okay, this motherfucker is getting ratioed in the comments though. This motherfucker is getting ratioed in the comments though.
Fighting for his life.
Did you get your fifis hurt? Like this? Did you get your fifis hurt? Keep thinking the richest man in the world on a private plane on the internet connection that he owns is looking out for your best interests.
Oh, Chile.
Ooh, I get again. This is just beautiful. This is the best gaming web page in existence right now.
Just cooking this man for filth, bro. Do it again.
I just love it. Well, we got to move on. Unfortunately, there's more Elon Musk news in the content creator space. Twitch makes a deal to escape Elon Musk suit alleging Twitter ad boycott conspiracy. In a court filing Monday, Twitter lawyers provided no details on the deal, but explained that Twitter and Twitch have entered into a memorandum of understanding resolving the action as to Twitch so long as certain conditions are met by December 31st. I don't know what the fucking deal was. I don't like it though. I don't like it. You ain't even gotta tell me what it was. I just don't like it.
The fact that they made a deal, it's like,
Yeah, I think that's the most worrying thing. Like, what? How can another business tell another business how to spend their money?
Right.
I think that was their whole thing. Is oh, this is free speech. Or,
right.
How businesses spend their money is free speech.
And according to Citizens United, corporations are people.
Especially in the vein of like corporate Twitch pages were like out and out impersonating other companies and being like, insulin was free, and it's like yeah, I don't want to do business. I don't want to do business with a site that could just be that could just pretend to be me and run with it.
Mario putting up the middle finger. What the hell is this?
Yeah, like I said, you think I'm gonna pay? You
can do that on the Switch too.
Good chance.
Oh, another piece of Switch 2 news. Hitman: World of Assassination is coming to the Switch 2 with special Nintendo themed skins. Would you like to guess which one is included?
Yep.
Definitely not Luigi.
Oh, definitely it is Luigi.
Luigi,
yeah. It is definitely Luigi.
I saw that and I was like, oh, come the fuck.
I did not know. I found out today. I was listening to a podcast and they were like, "Yep, you could dress up as Luigi in Hitman." That's it.
Like, oh.
I do not care. I am putting $500 down on a Switch 2. I am getting Hitman for the Switch 2 so I can get this.
The only
game.
skin I'm using.
Yep.
The funniest thing that I definitely
and I'm not even sticking around. I'm just taking motherfuckers out.
Like that was the one thing that really like cracked me up when I was watching the Switch 2 Direct was like it had that tinge of like multi-platform games are back, baby. We're back, baby. Look at this, man. Cyberpunk, like Cyberpunk, Hitman, Borderlands 4. We're back, baby. Multiplayer games can actually run on Nintendo hardware again. Yeah, and it's like people punching the air because it was almost like, dang. So you saying like Switch 1 was like literally just like an Etch-a-Sketch? Games were running like Etch-a-Sketches on the Switch 1. It's like we can actually get games in now. Whack pack, love it.
I need to find a higher resolution image for this. This is what I want. There have been several album podcast art ideas I've had for this show. Now that I remember that this exists, I want this. I need a high resolution version of this image. I want this so bad. I will gladly buy a Switch 2 just so I can get this game. Like just straight up Luigi. How did this get past Nintendo?
Nintendo wasn't looking for it. You see, you cannot find. You look, but you do not see.
I don't understand. Like this, so who is it? Oh no, we're giving him an exclusive green suit. It's like it's for St. Patrick's Day.
Is just a generic green tuxedo and fedora.
Exactly. Don't worry about that.
I see nothing wrong with this.
It's a quack pack. Nothing else. There's a Mario one too, but you just know why people are going to be using the Luigi one. I've never been the type of player to try to get items like this. I don't even know how. Anyway, I may give it a go for this set. You know what? If there is a PC mod to get this skin, maybe I won't get a Switch 2.
I'm sure there is.
Oh my God, there has to be. I want this skin so bad. Also, hey, there's 23 free games you can get with Amazon Prime if you have not canceled your Amazon Prime membership. Speaking of killing people, Mafia 3 Definitive Edition. Mm-hmm. We're not going to pay attention to this one because no. I feel like Mafia 3 is the one that's kind of leading this year because I am not seeing anything else that I really have heard of.
I've heard Paleo Pines, Kraken Academy, Fashion Police. Oh,
I just saw police. I saw police and I said, nope, I'll pass.
Oh no, this is Fashion Police.
Yeah, I know, but still, ACAB all day, even Fashion Police.
No, they make people look good. They're doing the Lord's work.
Look, sometimes they can be a little fascistic, so I'm just saying. But yeah, so hey, there are games if you still have Amazon Prime. I'm not going to say that I don't, because I definitely do.
Like
But
thanks,
I always
thanks to-
forget about these games.
Thanks to Amazon Prime, I have now all of the definitive Mafia games are out, and I have access to them for free.
All right, gentlemen, that's it. That's all she wrote. Sid, what you got going on this week, man?
I just reached 100 on Monster Hunter, so I'm trying to go to the new hub, which I haven't done yet.
Yes.
So playing some Monster Hunter. I will be rolling credits on a game that I'll be boycotting after I roll credits on it.
It's easy to boycott when you don't have to play it no more.
Yeah.
But other than that, just chilling. That's it.
Yeah.
Kev, what you got going on this week?
I also going to be playing like some boycotted games. I will be playing the boycotted it's being boycotted for a whole myriad of other reasons. South of Midnight. So I'll be playing some South of Midnight on Monday. On Tuesday, I'll be playing Blueprints, which that game has been getting a lot of really...
Yeah, I've been hearing some good stuff about that.
There was some really good stuff about that. It's kind of got that like Mace, but on like not Mace, Mist. It's kind of like Mist, but you have to like solve puzzles in this house, but then you have to like find of the 45 rooms, you have to find the mysterious 46th room in this house. And I've liked it. I definitely like those type of games like Myst and The Witness, and where it's just like chill, but like has like a kind of like a eerie-ish vibe. Games like that. I played Boxes, and the Boxes was good. Matter of fact, I should run Boxes back. That was actually really good. So I'm probably gonna be playing that, and picking back up on Wonderstop, which I'm gonna try and see if I can roll credits on that, because I have been really, really, really enjoying that. But just like, cozy games have been coming out fast and loose the past couple of days and weeks. Basically want to clear the way out for the May stuff to come, the May and June stuff to pull out. Also, like, since outside is outsiding, I'm probably gonna try to pick back up on my photography work, where I did want to like do more pictures with community events, outreach events, activist events, to tap back into community activism again, because that's something I've always liked doing, and I always wanted to like cover events in community outreach and activism through pictures. I miss having Flickr, because that was always a great place to showcase. That was always my favorite place to showcase my pictures and being like, here's my Flickr page. Go look at that.
Is Flickr not a thing?
I think Flickr.
I thought Flickr was still
closed down.
I could have sworn it was still up.
I might still be up. If it is still up, I'll probably pull it up.
Flickr is definitely still up.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to, because it was bought by Yahoo and then sold by Yahoo at some point. Yeah. So I don't actually know who owns it now.
That's probably why I stopped using Flickr, because it was like it was bought and sold, and I was like, I don't know if I want to keep posting my shit on here. So, but yeah, I probably, if nothing else, I'll just probably pull up a WordPress. I'll probably just make up a WordPress blog and post my pictures there, and blog entry.
I might try to look at some alternatives. If you can help it, don't use WordPress.com.
Do you work?
Yeah.
Like I'm. That's what I'm saying. Like I haven't like tapped truly back into it yet, because I'm still like figuring out where I want to like host my pictures at.
Yeah, I don't even know of any good photo sharing sites. It's been a while since I've done that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I probably would have just deployed my own because you know me.
Yeah. Yeah, because if push come to shove, like I will either make a secondary Blue Sky account, for the pictures. Yeah.
Just hit me up.
So, but yeah,
we can work something out.
Okay. I'll keep you posted. You know, I'll keep you posted if there's something major happens. But yeah, nothing too major on the horizon. Just yeah, that was it.
The thing with the South of Midnight is just they don't really state it, but they deal in some pretty heavy themes and trauma.
Yeah.
But just make sure you're in a good space for that, and if you stream it, just make sure you just let people know that hey, you might hear some things.
Okay, so that was my thinking, because I did want to like I kind of wanted, even if I played it once, I did want to at least play a little bit and do some streaming, like stream it once, and at least get some, you know, get some coverage in, so that way it can kind of get. I mean, it's no short of coverage because all of my mutuals are playing it. Like, it's no shortage of coverage because all my peoples are playing it. But I just kind of wanted to, like, it would be remiss of me to not try it, because that's how I felt about Tales of Kashura Kinzara Zao, because it was like that game is not my genre of game. Like, it's not even my genre of game, but it was just like, for what it was, I was like, I would be remiss if I did not at least play it and talk about it and like, you know, say, hey, you should probably check this out. So even if I do play it maybe one time, I do want to like show that it is a game to be considered.
Make sure you put that disclaimer in.
Disclaimer, like, you know, put the disclaimer in, possible triggering, also stands out, you know, I acknowledge where I am, but
also that, hey, that Microsoft and their subsidiary Xbox and Xbox Game Studios is being actively boycotted by the Boycott, Divestment, and Sanction movement for Microsoft's role in perpetrating a genocide.
Yes. So it's like, nice. You can.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm just saying, like, if you can boycott, please do. If you cannot, do not be full-throated in your response.
Doom: The Dark Ages is coming out next month.
I'm just saying, do not truly be full-throated in your response, in your support for Xbox.
Just say it.
Yeah, just if you could not stream it, that would also help.
Also, be careful when plugging a PlayStation controller into your PC.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see. For me, got some new stuff that came in. First, we got Naked Snake and the boss from Metal Gear Solid Delta. I did not know these Funkos were for Delta. I thought they were just MGS3, but they were Deltas. So new ones.
Yes. So you see, like, the new variants of the design.
So yeah, that came in while we were away. But this also came in too. Again, like I said, hi, I'm your local, or your streamer's favorite communist, Major Linux, and Capital, Das Kapital, written by Karl Marx back in the 19th century. It's it's Das Kapital Volume 1. He was supposed to write more, but unfortunately he died before he got to those. But it's a very dense book. And I'm like, one day I'm going to read it, but today is not that day. However, I found out that there is an illustrated explainer to Das Kapital, written by David Smith. It's illustrated by Phil Evans. It's like a graphic novel. or a novel with graphics. Kind of like, you know, people who like to read a book, but hey, it's got pictures in it too. To kind of explain the concepts that are talked about in Capital. Again, if you would like to know where I'm getting a lot of my stuff from, it is definitely from Karl Marx, Frederick Engels, Vladimir Lenin, great thinkers, philosophers. I wouldn't call them philosophers. They might be though. I don't know. But very great thinkers, especially when it comes to workers and how they're being exploited by the system, and how we as workers can take back the power. It is something that we can do, something we should be doing. But of course it's more than just going out in the street and marching and screaming at the top of our lungs. It also takes education to get there. So again, I'm not saying I'm the most well-read person in the world. I still have a stack of books I got to get through. But again, like, this is a good one to understand your place as a worker in all of this, kind of like where you stand in relation to capitalists, where you stand in capitalism. And tonight, I imagine it's going to be a really good explainer. I listened to a podcast with the author of that book, and he explained a lot of concepts of capital that just instantly made sense to me, that other people have tried to explain. It's like, oh my God, I don't know how anybody could get this. Except also went out to DC for a March for Palestine. Definitely check out TikTok, Instagram. I have 3 videos out now from that event. Shout out to one of them blowing the fuck up.
Yeah, it did.
Compared to anything I have ever done on TikTok. So yeah, shout out to everybody who's come out and supported that video. There have been some haters. Fuck them haters.
Oh yeah.
Because we don't suffer Zionists here. We don't suffer silly folks here who said the ancestors told them to sit down. I forgot who I was telling this. Is a look. Some people been saying that, oh, Harriet Tubman would have shot people who would have argued with her. Harriet Tubman would have shot your ass for sitting there saying you gonna stay home and not sit and fight for your liberation. So yeah, couldn't be me not listening to my ancestors. They want me free. Coming up this week, though, I don't know. There are things that happen. Let's see. Tomorrow, or not? Yes, tomorrow. More Split Fiction, right? Kev. Split Fiction.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. So Split Friday tomorrow. Saturday, I will be participating in a LAN event with Extra Life. Not sure if I'll be streaming or not. I'm just looking for a place to not be in my house and play video games. So I'll be probably playing something on my PS5, because I don't think I've played a game on my PS5 since I really bought it. Maybe I should have saved that money for a Switch too, and then not play that. But outside of that, nothing's really going on. We should be back next Thursday with more on Tech Talk Thursdays. With all that being said, Merge, thank you so much for joining us on such short notice. Once again, we need to get you on more shows.
Yeah, we do.
No problem. Your silent partner is here.
I mean, even if East Coast Sin was here, we'd love to have you on more shows. As opposed to a fill-in, but we'll talk about that. We'll work that. We'll work on that. Kev, it's a pleasure as always.
Yes, sir.
Sin, again, hopefully everything is all right. Wish you and your family all of the best.
Yes.
Again, please take your time. We'll be here. Yeah, outside of that, thank you everybody for tuning into another episode of Tech Talk Thursdays for March 10th, 2025. Also, the GOAT, wherever she is, thank you for just being you. On behalf of Kev, on behalf of Sid, on behalf of Merge, on behalf of the GOAT, I want to say thank you again, everybody, for coming through. Of course, you all could have been anywhere in the world, watching any stream in the world. You could have been reading the tech and gaming news yourself, but you said no, thank you. I had this game key card, and I had to download something. So I figured I'd sit and wait for the download to finish. And for that, we said thank you. Also, how did you get a game key card? Those don't exist yet. How do you get that Switch 2?
I
But on
pre-ordered
that-
mine in the UK.
That'll do it.
On that bombshell, all I've got left to say to you wonderful people is no one's going to save us but ourselves. If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. I love you. And peace. How?
Wakanda forever.
Bye, y'all.